You want to know what Australia thinks of America? Here you go.
Trump is being protested all over the world. MAGA in Europe means make America go away. Europe is also wondering, where are all the adults in the USA? And this sign, it's my favorite. The USA already has too much ice. Those are some of my favorite signs from a massive protest that took place at the US Embassy in Copenhagen, Denmark over the weekend, because Europe is pissed. Look at the Danes and the Greenlanders looking downright cozy while they are protesting. They're not cold at all. And look at the Minnesotans. They are building protest sleds. They are out singing to ice. They are bundled up, and this cold is not deterred.
This is not surprising at all when you have a maniac in the White House who literally thinks that the U.S. can go it alone in a global economy and throws tariffs on the entire world, every single country in the world, including islands that have no one on them. He tariffed the entire planet and threatened to invade our closest allies. This is the appropriate response when you attack the entire world and then attack Iran and cause a global shortage of oil and gas prices to go up across the entire the world, including for our closest allies. This is the appropriate response.
Deterring them at all.
People don't hate us because they ain't us. They hate us because we go around the world dropping bombs on them and acting like a bully. Because if you're actually worried about U.S. national security, you should be a lot less worried about Greenland and immigrants and a lot more worried about how Trump's words and actions are causing people all around the world to radicalize against Americans. And with good reason. When the President of the United States is openly discussing invading and stealing a foreign country, not because they committed an act of war against us or because we have any territorial claim to that land, but because he wants it. When they go in and kidnap a foreign leader, no matter how hated, and when he makes no secret of the fact that his interest in those countries is to plunder their natural resources, why would anyone like us? And I'm not even talking about governments here. I'm talking about individuals and individuals that form groups, especially when they see that their governments and institutions aren't doing enough to condemn and stop the United States of America. There are Americans who get this and Americans who don't. And to the ones who don't, you need to wake the F up and realize he's the one causing anti-American sentiment to go through the roof.
First time I've been abroad since the election, and I've lost count of how many times I've gotten the look, that look of awe and sympathy that I get when I tell people I'm from the States. In the past few weeks, I've been to the UK, I've been to Lithuania, I've been to Latvia, I've been to Estonia, I've been to Sweden, I've been to Norway, I've been to Finland, I've been to the Åland Islands, and everywhere I go, I get the look. I have never been ashamed of my country, never been ashamed of my country. I served it for 16 years, and what I've had to do over here, after the 5th or 6th or 7th conversation, I had to tell them, I'm from Canada.
This is what Americans are having to do. I faced this traveling abroad. I never told anyone that I was Canadian. I've never had to feel that much pressure, but I have had many conversations about the disastrous policies of the United States. This is what happens when you're an imperialist, warmongering nation with an insane president causing destruction across the entire planet.
The world has never looked at the U.S. more poorly than it does right now. There are so many people inside this country that know how horrible things are, but yet there is still a large percentage of the population who somehow thinks things are going great.
It's a cult. MAGA is a cult, and if you watch any of my videos, if you have seen anything on my channel, I have proven that beyond a shadow of a doubt. They are a cult, and no matter what happens, and there could be gas shortages in the United States, like back in the 1970s, where we have to ration gasoline because of Donald Trump's insane war in Iran. Even if that happens, there's still going to be the 30% that follow Trump will still be bowing. I love Trump. I worship Trump. He can't do nothing wrong. 100%. No matter what happens, they're going to follow him. It's a cult, for sure.
The MAGA cult will be studied for generations to come. The rest of the world cannot understand how we managed to vote this president in a second time. And now, just 14 months in, he is wreaking so much havoc on the entire planet. He has the worst approval rating in the history of all presidents.
Video yesterday about how the rest of the world is viewing America. In reading through all of these comments, it is so astounding how there are things that people are commenting in these videos that I didn't even know was happening. And I think that is the scary part, is we know that we're being censored, but we don't even realize how much we're actually being censored, to the point where if people want to come into our country, they have to give up the last 5 years of their social media and emails to see if they are anti-Trump.
They're saying it, the Trump administration is saying that they're doing it for national security, but really it's to see if those people are criticizing the administration. It's insane.
That is dictatorship. That is fascism. And I made this video because there are so many people who have been brainwashed, and I'm not trying to say that in a mean way, but they have been brainwashed to think that other countries now fear us, and they fear Trump, so they respect us, and they do not. They fear for us. They feel bad for us. They think we're a laughing stock. They now think that we are a third world country between gun violence, healthcare, maternity leave, free speech, the food that we eat. The list could go on.
So I'm starting to see videos of Americans getting upset and defensive because people outside the USA are criticizing us and wondering why we don't rise up against our fascist-ass government. And I just want to say to all the Americans that are getting defensive and complaining, we are pathetic. We are cowardly, we are complacent, and we are just pathetic. We are genuinely one of the worst groups of people to ever fucking exist. And history's gonna look back at us and ask the same goddamn question. Why were so many of us so willing to sit by, keep our heads down, and watch this shit happen right the fuck in front of us? We are only 4% of the global population. There are 8 billion people out there, and we impact almost every single one of them to some degree.
God, that's a good damn point. That is such a great point. 4% of the population, and we impact the entire world. As I mentioned, we are tanking the global. There could be a famine. Think about that. Because of the Strait of Hormuz being closed, fertilizer, we're losing fertilizer across the world. It's in decline. Our farmers can't even produce as much food. So we're going to see food prices skyrocket here. But because we can produce a lot of these things, but a lot of countries can't. So they're going to have tremendous famine in a lot of these poorer nations because of the United States, because of the fertilizer that's not coming out of the Strait of Hormuz, because of Donald Trump's stupid, insane war. That's how pathetic and insane our country is. 4% of the population of the world affecting 8 billion people because we are so insane in warmongering. It's pathetic, dude. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Please consider liking, subscribing, and just commenting. I really love engaging with you. I really try and, respond to comments. And I almost hit 2,000 subscribers. I really love you guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.